Internet, and welcome back to Antiheroes Anonymous, or welcome for the first time if it's your first time joining us. I'm Ethan, and I'm the Dungeon Master for this 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons show! You don't know this, but we're playing on Halloween, so that's great.
Now they know.
Now they know.
Secret's out.
Nick, do you want to go ahead and do start off some player introductions, and then we'll do some announcements, a recap, and get into it?
Sure. Hi, I'm Nick. I play Sir Thaddeus Hammerlock, the Human Vengeance Paladin.
I thought you said Behemoth Vengeance Paladin.
Oh,
I was like, that sounds epic.
No, I think we already used that approach in Giant Size.
Yeah. You have also fought a Behemoth Vengeance Paladin in the form of a fire giant.
It's true.
Thaddeus soloed that guy.
He did solo it.
I'm Kay. I play Harmony, who is a Tiefling Wild Magic Sorcerer.
I'm Zach, and I play Zant, who is a human fire ranger.
I expected it to be longer, like it used to be. Okay, I'm Melissa, and I play Mara, who is a human rogue swashbuckler.
So we premiere our episodes on YouTube every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. As I said, tonight's episode was recorded on Halloween, hence some spookiness. Let's see, throughout the show we use a variety of custom items, as well as a custom wild magic table for our resident wild magic sorcerer. Our music comes from BattleBards, TabletopAudio, and Incompetech. Our character portraits, which you'll see in the top right corner of the screen on the character info cards, were drawn by an artist named Carrie Peach, who goes by @CarrieDraws on Twitter. Other than that, you can check the video description for links and info to everything I just mentioned and more. And you can also follow us on Twitter @AntiheroesAnon, where we tweet sometimes. Other than that, we just hope you enjoy the show, share it with your friends, come back and watch some more. So, a quick recap, and then we'll dive right in. A night hag by the name of Mother Midnight, who the party has had run-ins with before, is making her presence known once again. In order to deal with this situation, the party put together a plan to reach her in her lair on Malbolg, the 6th layer of the Nine Hells. They have gone to lengths to secure papers of safe passage within the Hells, as well as procure a Yugoloth navigator for their ship as they sail down the River Styx. And recently they learned a little bit more about a massive ship known as the Sea Devil's Curse, which is said to be laden with treasure, and also is connected to Mara's backstory and her grandfather. They found the ship lying in wait at the bottom of the ocean in the middle of a section of the sea called the Vast Expanse, and they are currently preparing to board it, thanks to the help of their giant black turtle friend Gembu, who literally raised it up from the bottom of the ocean on his fin. So we are going to start tonight's session zooming back in on the scene we left it on, with the Drowning Kiss and the Sea Devil's Curse basically turning their sails both full of wind towards each other and making their way across the 500-foot gap of ocean that currently stands between the two of them. The Sea Devil's Curse itself being a 300-foot long, 120-foot tall vessel of massive gargantuan proportions. The Drowning Kiss being a much smaller, like 20 foot long by 15 feet across or something like that?
No, it's longer than 20. That's
6 feet
5
or
feet.
so. I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty long.
It's still significantly smaller,
Like a rowboat.
yet boldly making its way towards its foe. I'm going to put on some music. You guys probably need to roll some initiative.
Okay.
And if you wouldn't mind, please also roll one for the Drowning Kiss, which has an initiative bonus of, looks like, -2.
So, pre-initiative, pre-combat, if we have time, I would make good berries for everybody and hand out. And hand out the normal spread 3, 3, 2, 2, and then also
Sorry,
I want
how many?
to. You get 3, 3, and then Daddy's might have 2, and also meditate with my sword and become a whatever that spell is called. Tiger Man.
Guardian of Nature.
Guardian of Nature, thank you.
How long does that last?
It lasts, let's see, an hour.
Doesn't it take a while to cast that spell?
Mm-mm.
Yes.
Oh.
Just
But
says you can
he's saying
meditate.
this is
Oh, okay.
preparation for
Yeah.
the fight. This isn't happening.
Okay.
But it takes like what 10 minutes or something to cast the spell.
I don't know.
I think Hunter's or Zant has to cast it in a
Since
special
6
way.
already.
Now, it was at least 10 minutes. It
journey
might be
gets-
an hour, but you've
Is it?
had plenty of prep time, so you can do
Yeah.
that in advance.
Sure. You'll allow that. Okay, I'll have to write that on the card because. Let me see.
It's a spell, right?
Let me write it here.
Yes, but his spell has special properties.
It lasts an hour. If you use with
Let me pull up my.
It says you can meditate with the sword. Okay, so I'm gonna add this to say cast time.
Just see him sitting there going, my lovely, my petite.
Okay, let's see.
I was in my room. How did you know?
Well, I mean,
You have to
get to know
meditate
someone
with the sword
when
for
you do
30 minutes.
My sword?
Yeah.
Huh?
You have to meditate with the sword for 30 minutes, and then once you've done that, you can cast the spell, which then lasts for an hour instead of the minute it normally does.
Mm.
Okay, got it. Cool. Thanks. So we got that. And
Phew? Phew? Excuse me.
Everybody's going last, everyone.
I'm not. Diamond Kiss is going last.
yeah, you get mine.
God damn it. What? If it was a bad plan,
I'm
I
kidding.
asked like
I'm-
4
I'm
times.
kidding. I'm kidding.
I did. I asked them like 4 times. This is a terrible plan, right?
Give me the card.
Nobody said anything. Give him the cards. I'm not just holding them hostage. I was waiting for Zach.
It's my fault.
Alright, let's see.
I put you in front of Bianco because I assume you have
That's fine.
better decks. But if
I
you
love
guys are
when you
going
and
against
Yako have the same initiative. It makes my life so easy.
It happens so much more often than I thought it would.
Thaddeus, I'm going to put you just ahead of Sea Devil's Curse.
Actually, Bianco is faster than me, dex-wise.
Oh really?
That's okay. I mean, we can.
Their boat is a weapon too.
Okay.
I
Mara.
would assume it's their boat and all of the things on it are gonna go on that initiative.
I don't like going first.
Mara, you are the first to act. What I will tell you about how sailing a boat works is to take its actions. So the Drowning Kiss has actions, and they are on your D&D Beyond character sheet. I meant to print them out, but I didn't. What was I thinking? Basically, its actions are it can move, and it can fire a ballista. And it can take 2 actions on its turn. But to take those actions, someone has to be crewing it. So that can be you, it can be one of these people. But someone has to be told or to move the ship, or you have to move the ship. That said, it's your turn. So you can take actions, or you can save your turn to sort of move the boat when its turn comes around.
On its turn, can it fire ballistas twice?
Yes, if someone
Okay.
is manning them.
Alright, so if I sacrifice my action
Mm-hmm.
to use the ship, then I can fire 2 ballistas or move twice?
Yes.
Okay, or do both. Okay.
So, Mara, you're up first. It depends what you want to do.
I'm going to cast fly.
Okay. So you feel the wind flow out of your dagger.
Does she have to cast it on herself?
Fly? No,
Yeah.
not necessarily.
Okay.
You're gonna cast it on yourself.
Yeah.
You feel
Oh,
the winds
well-
flow out of your
What?
dagger and
Was that
rise
the
up
plan?
underneath your pantaloons.
No.
No.
You were gonna go with him. You were gonna cast fly on Yako.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to cast fly on Biako,
Okay.
actually.
Wind ruffles Yako's fur, and you can see him lift up off the ground.
Very happy about this.
Zant, you're up next.
To ride Biako, do I have to spend? How does that work? Movement, or
Right.
yeah,
Well, you guys do have the same initiative, so that makes this easy.
yeah. Can he just pick me up and swoop me off my feet, or is it like?
How big is a tiger?
Large.
Large? Yeah. If you're on the same initiative, he can just pick you up and take
Okay.
you. So, if you
So
want to I think you'd have to spend like half your movement to get on him technically. But
Okay,
other
so-
than that, you've got your action and bonus actions free.
Okay. So if I use my bow, I sacrifice all of my movement, though, right? Does that mean I can't shoot and ride him in the same round?
If you place the bow,
Yes.
that takes your movement.
That's what I thought what it
I thought
was.
it was your bonus action.
I think he can't move. doesn't
Oh,
he?
maybe it is the bonus action.
So
That's
you
it.
could place it fire,
And then-
on Giotto.
But
Okay,
then
we'll
you
do
have to
that.
leave it behind, right?
No.
No, you could pick it up.
Oh, you can pick it up.
Okay, we'll do that. We are in range, right?
Yeah.
Okay, or what's the range at, I guess, between the
The
two
boats
ships?
are currently 500 feet apart, and
Perfect.
the gap is beginning to close.
Okay.
What do you want to fire at? The boat has.
What are my targets?
I mean, you can see the massive boat itself. Its
Yeah.
sails are there as well, clearly filled with wind as it's barreling towards you across the vast expanse.
Okay.
You can also see tons of tiny figures who you saw through your scope. All have these sort of aquatic elements fastened to their bodies. Like some of them have like crab-like pinchers or
Okay.
tentacles or gills and fins and things like that.
So,
And they are scrambling about the deck.
okay, for the ship description itself, does it have, where are the cannons located? Are they forward and, Port
You
starboard,
can see
or are they-
some windows for cannons. Most of
Okay.
them are not yet open
okay,
on the sides of the ships.
but there's none on the front?
What
And
you would
we're-
have seen through your scope, as far as other weaponry on the ship, there is a ballista on the front, a ballista on the back,
Okay,
and there are two. How do you pronounce this thing? Basically catapults.
Okay.
It's got like a
Oh, trebuchets?
mangonel.
Oh.
Basically, yeah, they're.
oh, I
trebuchets.
know those.
Yep.
They're in Age of Empires.
And there's two of those located on the main deck.
Okay, are they manned?
The people are rushing to man.
Okay, can I take shots at people that are rushing to man them or arm them?
Sure.
Okay. So I'm gonna use sharpshooter. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Let's take some shots. So that's a crit for the first one.
Okay.
She goes,
That guy dies.
Okay.
Yep. You basically one of these guys with like a crab-like arm is rushing towards the trebuchet and getting ready to man it, and your arrow just flies across the ocean and embeds in him, and he just
Great.
flies off the
Wow.
other side of the ship.
Second one. That's a not very good. Let's see. 6 plus 20, 15.
Hits.
Okay. That is. mm, 20.
That guy drops dead too. He falls down onto the deck and just like face plants on the deck of the ship.
Okay. Next one is a.
That rolls.
What would that be? Sorry. Hang on, I just did this. 21, 16 to hit.
Also hits.
And then, so 2, don't want that one. That is a 24.
3 arrows and 3 kills.
Okay. And then,
And you can see that the rest of the crew, but it doesn't seem like there's an end to the crew that is on the deck. Like they just keep rushing out of.
yeah, I guess my purpose was to delay them actually
Yeah.
firing shots at us. So anyone who's like carrying the ammo or actually turning it, so we have a little bit more time to prepare. So,
And then you hop on Gyatko and
Bianco, we drive down the runway and take off.
Gyatko flies 60 feet, I guess.
You can fly, you can fly, you can fly.
Yeah, I'm riding my tiger for the first time. Bianco loves it.
Yeah, now that you're human, I guess you'd be much
Yeah.
lighter for.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah, so he can use his action to dash, right?
Yes, but
So
he's
we can-
carrying you, so his speed is halved to begin with.
Oh, is
It's
it?
not like he's not like a riding creature or anything like that.
He's so strong.
He's strong. But so he can go 60 feet with you.
Sure. So 30-30
Yeah.
if we use it. Okay, cool.
Thaddeus.
Alright, Thaddeus is going to mount Moonlight Sparkle along with Mara,
Okay.
and hold his action until everyone else is off the deck
Okay.
of the ship.
What is the action you're holding?
To speak a command word.
All right. Then it is the Sea Devil's Curse turn, and you watch as the ship begins to close the distance between the two of you. It has a speed of. The gap between you closes by 100 feet. And you see you're now 400 feet apart, with Zant a little bit ahead.
That's right.
That's its turn. Harmony. Well, I guess actually the crew would also fire some shots at that point because it is the boat's turn. We'll wait for their turn. So. Cool. Harmony.
Okay. Question. This is something that we were wondering about earlier, but if I use Quicken Spell to cast a spell as a bonus action, previously you've let me cast a spell as my action too, regardless of the level, right? Okay. Perfect. Then in that case,
Technically, that's not how it's worked, but it's how we've
always done
so,
it. So
yeah.
next campaign we can play by the rules, but
If someone has Quicken Spell. Yeah.
or for anything that has.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so I'm going to use Quicken Spell to cast Dimension Door, and I'm going to teleport onto the very edge of the deck of their ship.
Okay, sort of right in the middle, or
Somewhere where I have a nice 60-foot cone that gets as many people as I can get.
let me draw a little bit on the map first. Then. Since you're now entering this map
What's the
area.
name of that other
I
ship?
don't
The
care
name
what
of
it
that ship?
The Sea Devil's
Magic
Curse.
does not trigger.
Your new ship, you mean? I see. I mean, you can just rename it when it's yours.
Looking for a eraser.
You had one.
Well, I took it out of it because it
Oh,
doesn't
thank
have
you.
lead, so
I
we
mean,
can
I
have one functional.
All right. I don't know where the one in this one went.
We're about to fight an army, and you guys are deedling over there.
Well, I've been with an infant all week. I'm sorry. My brain's like.
Make silly noises. Yeah,
Oh.
Make baby laugh.
That's our default. That's our default right now.
I see.
These are probably better. Didn't know where on the ship you were gonna go, so I didn't actually bother drawing it. But
I make it my business to ruin all of your plans.
which is why I didn't plan.
Ooh, there it is.
Touche. So are all these guys looking about the same as far as like durability?
Yep, they're identical clones of one another, basically. You know.
They all have matching barnacles.
Okay, here's my inspirational speech to everybody. Let's all be as confident as a
Do you
4-year-old
just want
wearing
to
a
spread the rest of
superhero
those?
t-shirt.
It really doesn't matter.
Okay.
Oh, all these?
As confident
Alright.
as what?
A 4-year-old wearing a superhero t-shirt.
Is the captain shown himself yet? Or herself?
No, not at this point.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna really make you cry, Ethan, but I'm going to do a nice
Didn't you take over one of those things on the ship?
Yes.
yes.
I remember that.
When I got captured.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
now that
so
you're on the ship, you can see that the wheel of the ship, where the captain would normally stand at the very back area of that top section, is turning itself.
cool.
Great.
Alright, well, I'm going to angle my prismatic spray to catch as many of these guys as I can for my action.
How big of a cone is prismatic spray?
60
feet.
right?
You're gonna catch like a ton of these guys.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
So,
As you land there, though, can you make me... Oh, there's no save for it initially. You land on the Drowning Kiss. You teleport onto it.
Drowning kiss.
Not the Drowning Kiss. The
See double
Sea
curse.
Rebel Skirt.
Can't remember.
Yeah, take it.
Do
Or
I
you want a
have
different
the
color? Yeah. Where did I go?
Oh, they're right there.
There they are. Your feet alight on the ship, and now that you're right up close, you can see A, that the steering wheel is turning itself, but also B, that this thing is not made of the wood that it appeared to be made of from a distance. There is something like more shiny, almost like synthetic about it. And when your feet touch the ground there, you can actually feel like movement within the wood of the ship itself.
Gross.
As if there's like a ripple to it when you land. And as soon as your feet touch the ground, you can just feel like a suction, and you are grappled as your feet are then stuck to the ship.
Okay.
Wow.
So how many did she get?
I think this gets you the most.
Everything in the orange area.
Yeah.
1, 2,
Everything
3,
that the
4,
light
5,
touches.
6, 7, 8, 9,
Ethan?
10, 11, 12,
Does everything
13.
in Prismatic Spray do damage?
Not everything.
Ethan, is the battle cam on?
Yeah, not everything.
There are some banishments. There's some like petrification stuff.
Okay. Tell me, what is the percentage of ones that do damage?
There are 2 that don't do damage out of 8, and there's 1 that does double, or 2 different
beams, yeah.
beams out of
Okay.
8.
So
So there's a
Two
very
that
high
do
chance of doing
damage.
damage.
Yeah. Well, why don't I just roll 13d8 and see how many we get, and just roll the damage together for however many repeats
okay,
we get.
that works.
68.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Green
9,
ones.
10, 11, 12. I need 2 more d8s.
There you go. Yep, I got it.
Alright. Wait. 1 more d8. I need 13, right?
12.
4, 5, 6,
Two.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I only need 1 more.
Okay.
Because it's 13, right? Alright, let's see what we get here. There's 1. That was a 1. There's 2 4s, 2 3s. 1 got an 8. That's exciting. 2 7s. 3 2s. 2 3s. Nope. This was a 3, and this was a 3.
Yeah.
So I got 4 3s. Okay. So it looks like 1 gets fire damage, 3 get, what is that? Acid damage. 4 get lightning damage. 2 get poison damage. 2 are, if they fail their save, they're blinded
Okay.
and maybe banished on their next turn. My next turn?
Remember his half-hour turns?
Yeah.
This
Well,
spell is
hey,
the longest
you know
turn
what?
every time.
You know what? You roll for
The start of
stealth,
my next
okay?
turn. And 1 gets a double,
Yeah.
so I'll take 2 of yours now. Do you want to go give candy? One of you?
I'll do it.
Thank you.
Still love seeing him.
Oh, okay, so the one that gets a double ray is 2 more lightning.
Okay.
2 of lightning, so
So only 2 of them didn't take damage, right?
yes, and those are the 2 that are blinded if they fail their save. And we need to make sure to remember that they need to make saves on the next. And I'll just roll once, and that'll be the damage for everybody
Okay.
that took damage. 10d6, because it's all 10d6 for everything. Thanks, Nick. 7, 9, 10.
Maybe you should have yelled that when you went on the ship. Trick or treat!
Trick or treat!
Oh, there you go.
Well, prismatic spray, you
This
know.
turn's still going on?
Yep.
It's a
Well,
triple
we
damage.
just figured out who's doing everything. And I rolled 2 3s for the double, so he gets double lightning damage. Oh, and the one that takes fire damage gets doubled because it's fire.
Gosh.
Okay. Oh, and if it's fire, okay, and if it's fire damage, these are 2s.
Man, how do you keep that straight?
Okay, so let me just count this up real quick. 20.
Here, I thought sneak attack was cool.
10, 20, 32, 30, 33 for everything except fire.
Okay.
Fire is 35, but doubled.
7.
So 70
Yeah.
for the fire.
All but 2 of those in that cone are dead as
Which-
the color erupts.
So the 2
Which
that
two
are
do you-
blinded.
Which two do you like?
Well, let's say. Let's do that one and that one.
How many trophies did you
and
just
just
get?
don't take trophies. Just
Yeah.
put them on the
Oh,
map
shit.
because
Okay.
You'll need more.
Oh, yeah, blinded. Okay, I'll just put them over here. But that was like 11 trophies.
Yeah, it was a good shot.
Okay, thank you. And then the
they need to make saving throws that are Constitution.
Constitution saving throws at the end of each of their turns to become unblinded, and then at the beginning of my next turn, I think. No, wait, hold on. Sorry, I was reading the indigo. Wisdom saving throws at the end of, or at the start of my next turn.
Okay, you're gonna have to remember that.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
Can you scoot up just a little
But
bit?
for now, they are blind.
Thanks.
And you can see that they're just kind of like they've screamed out in terror as you've arrived on the ship.
What did you say? They
and,
are blind.
They're blinded.
Oh, great.
Have
Yeah.
no idea what is going on around as the rest of their comrades' bodies just hit the ground, burning in acid, fire, and lightning, and poison.
And poison.
Uh,
Everything. I only didn't get cold damage. Otherwise, I did all the other kinds of damage.
it's the Drowning Kiss's turn, but I don't think anyone is manning anything.
Well, I still have movement, but I'm grappled, so I guess that's the end of my turn.
Actually, it's my reaction because
Yes.
everyone is off the
Right, that's
Johnny
true.
Kiss now. So Thaddeus speaks the command word, and the ship shrinks.
Oh, okay.
Catches it up
Okay, yeah.
and hands it to Mara.
I'll put it in my knapsack.
Nice. And you hear, especially Harmony, who is on the ship, you hear a cry of confusion. But the ship continues forward in that direction. The Drowning Kiss has no turn now. I guess I'll just take
Yeah.
it out. These guys do nothing. It is nothing yet. Alright. These guys who are still alive.
Okay, so these were yours, I believe. Did you take yours back
I
already?
did.
Literally unicorn vomit.
Yeah. I love that spell. It's so harmony.
Uh-oh.
I know. I know. Half of my plan didn't work the minute I got grappled, but that's okay.
Did he describe what they look like?
Yes.
Yeah, they're like
Davy Jones.
Davy Jones.
Oh, that's right.
Pirates
The
of
last
the
time
Caribbean.
with the barnacles.
Barnacles and
Barnacles.
crustacean
and
parts.
more barnacles.
Okay.
Barnacles.
Harmony, around you,
That's
you
their
have
boss's name, I hope.
4 of them were able to make it to you.
Yeah.
No, 3. 4.
Four.
Can't count.
Four.
Four.
Okay. 4 of them were able to make it to you, and these ones have a variety of anatomies to them that you can see.
Cool.
Wow. Okay. Here we go. Each of them makes 2 attacks. Oh wow, 3 attacks.
Whoa.
So the first 2 are their unarmed strikes, but they're all both really bad. And the final one is with the fish-like anatomy, which is a natural 20.
Like a tail that slaps you or something.
The one that gets this natural 20 has like quills on him, like a sea urchin. And basically it kind of smacks you with the quills, and you take 3 poison damage
Oh.
and need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Is this a magical effect?
Oh, I guess it's a natural 20, so I might as well go with it. Here we go. So it is actually 6 poison damage.
Is this a magical effect?
No. This seems to be like physical poison that is within
And you
the
said
quills.
con?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna Tides of Chaos that shit.
Okay.
Much better.
That's way better.
So that's 25.
25. Okay, yeah, that passes. So no poison effect on you. Next guy,
I always forget that you're proficient.
23, 19, and a 10.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and cast Shield. So only the 23 hits, I believe. No, wait, 17 plus. Yeah, my AC is 22 now, so the 23 hits.
So that is 5 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Next guy down the line. Those are going to be 2 misses because you've cast shield, and then another 23. Which this one has. He opens his mouth, and you can see that his jaw is lined with shark's teeth, and he also has like shark fins and gills and things on him, and he just bites into you.
Oof.
And he also does 5 damage with that. And then this is the last guy against you, I believe. Miss.
Shark bite. Ooh, ha, ha.
And then a 23 and a 22.
They both hit.
Both of those hit?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, the 22 is an unarmed strike, so that's 5 damage, bludgeoning damage. And the other one is, he's got, this one has tentacles for arms, basically. And you take another 5 bludgeoning damage and are grappled by him as well as the ship.
Cool.
That is their turn. Oh, and then the ones that are by the trebuchets, we're going to fire those. Over at,
Didn't delay them.
I guess, one at Thaddeus and one at, I guess they'd be going for Moonlight Sparkle.
Okay.
Okay, so did my shield really only block just one of those attacks?
They were each making
No.
3 attacks, so.
I know, but
Well,
because,
oh,
I mean, you wouldn't tell me what they were when they failed.
Your shield blocked more than just one.
Okay. I just want to make sure I didn't cast it for just one.
also, there might be more stuff that attacks you before your turn. So.
So that's a 20 and a 24 to hit Moonlight Sparkle.
Okay, I can't. No point in shielding. I can't knock either of those off.
These are both significant damage. Oh, but they were at disadvantage.
Oh.
So that's 1 hit, and then this one's at disadvantage. 9 plus 1, so 14 is the other one.
All right, I'm gonna shield that one.
Okay, so only one of these hits. And Moonlight Sparkle takes 27 points of bludgeoning damage as a large, basically a big stone is hurled from this
Oh my
trebuchet.
gosh.
It goes and it sails across the sky and hits Moonlight Sparkle.
I don't even know how to spell that on this.
Mara, it's your turn.
Fire 8.
Boulder. You don't know how to spell trebuchet?
Oh,
Trebucket.
Trebucket.
Except the K is an H. That's
Okay,
it.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
That's true though. He's right. He's right.
Okay, so we're up in the
I didn't
air.
say it, but
Yeah.
that's true.
We are
How far
about
away?
400 feet away from the ship at this point, I think.
Yes.
I guess I'm gonna have to hold an action until we get
a few more of these guys come rushing out.
closer.
Ethan, what are those circles? Are those the masts? Where are they rushing
Yes,
out from?
mast, trebuchet. There's like hatches and things like that
Oh,
they're climbing
okay.
out of.
I see.
But they're all on this side of the
The
ship.
trebuchet is heavier than 1,000 pounds.
Depends on the size of the trebuchet.
Depends on if it's loaded or not.
Depends if it can fire a projectile 300 meters.
Alright, what would you like to do?
So I think I'm gonna hold action until we get close enough to make a shot.
Okay. Zant and Byakko.
You have a short bow,
There's not a range now.
Mara?
It's like 300. But
You
yeah,
have a
I see
short
what you're
bow? I was wondering what the
Um,
range for that was.
saying. Okay. So Byakko's gonna move his movement forward. I don't think I'm allowed. Well, if I shoot my great bow, Normally we just give it disadvantage if I can't place it, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hardly ever use it.
Let's see. So still no key figures have shown themselves, right?
Nope.
Okay. I will aim for 3 targets that are attacking Harmony. Probably the one that's grappling her.
Okay.
So I have advantage already, so I'm just gonna roll 1 dice. Do 3 attacks. So I have that one misses, but then I have my lowest roll is 20 out of the 3
So
attacks.
yes, those will hit.
Okay, so I have a natural 1, so that one misses, but then I have a 20 and 20, 25.
80, 320. So you can
So-
shoot if you're within 320 feet, but it's at disadvantage. Until
We'll get that close.
First shot is 27 damage
80 feet is the normal.
on the one that's grappling Harmony.
Got it.
Is he dead?
So the one with the tentacles, Harmony, you watch as a massive arrow streaks out of across the sea and just embeds in that guy's shoulder, and he just goes flying
I mean,
across the
I
deck.
shout. Eek! A little warning next time!
And then as you say that, another arrow comes and hits the shark tooth one. And that hits him for 22.
He's dead.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
And
And you're going how many feet?
Tentacle guy.
well, if
Shark
Yaka's
tooth.
move speed is 30 while flying, then that would be 60 total, correct? It's gonna take me a while.
Well, Yaka can move and dash.
That, he
That's what
said
he's doing.
he said 30 and 30.
Because
so-
he's moving at
Oh,
half
right,
speed
right,
'cause
right,
he's
right.
carrying someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we're
Isn't it fun to fly?
trudging along.
Well, still, I mean,
Yes.
Yeah.
60 feet is
Um,
far as-
normal.
Yeah.
Moonlight Sparkle is a riding mount.
Don't look at me like that. I want to stay on the ship. You guys booted me off.
So Moonlight Sparkle is going to move and dash and get 180 feet closer, which I
Okay.
think you're able to shoot now, because
Okay,
we're
yes.
about 200 feet away from 200 and change.
You zoom 60 feet ahead of Byako and Zant. And
Way further than that, because like his Moonlight Sparkle's flight speed is 90. So if he uses both, or she uses both, it can be 180.
180 feet.
Yeah.
So like,
well, yeah. Byako and Zant they're 120 feet in advance.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
they've taken 2.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
The turtle in the hair.
So that's Moonlight Sparkle's move. Thaddeus' action is to cast Greater Invisibility on himself and Moonlight Sparkle,
Okay.
but not Mara.
Mara's just hanging out. Playing.
Not Mara.
But Mara, you are now within range. Who do you want to shoot?
So funny.
Hold on.
So she's got 2 left around her.
Hold on. Sorry. Blind condition? Does she have advantage if she attacks somebody who's blinded?
Yes.
But you'd have disadvantage because you're not within 80 feet, so it would cancel itself out. So you should aim for the one that's blinded.
Not, you don't want me to attack one of them that's by you?
You wouldn't get. Well, wait.
She would get sneak attack for one that's by Harmony, but
That's
not
true.
for one.
Yeah.
Well, no, but she
You
has
wouldn't get
disadvantage.
snack
I don't think
Yeah.
I'm gonna
snack
need
attack on the
They
blinded
seem
one.
pretty-
There's no situation where she gets sneak attack right now.
There's
She'd
some,
be at disadvantage anyway.
they're pretty
Correct.
squishy. I don't think I really need it.
Right. So go for the one that's blinded, because at least then you don't roll at disadvantage.
Okay.
Don't worry about me. I'm fine.
21?
Hits.
I also rolled a die, and because I was using this stupid scarf that Army made,
Oh yeah.
a wild magic surge.
Oh, stupid
Roll a
scarf that
D100.
Harmony made, he says. I didn't know you were still attuned to that.
Yep, still got it.
Oh my god.
Still useful.
Oh my god.
Until now.
Oh my god.
This is an 81.
This is on our table, right? The same table.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. That's pretty cool.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Cool. All right.
So Thaddeus, I mean, what damage type would you like to choose?
Oh
Assume
shit.
cold.
Can be any damage type, or just the types that this
Any
comes in?
types the spell lists.
Okay, I have to look up the types.
Okay. I think it's pretty much the normal ones for types of dragons.
I was just wondering if radiant was not, but it doesn't seem that it is.
I don't think it
No,
Yeah,
I
things like
can choose
fire,
acid,
poison.
cold, fire, lightning, poison. I will go with cold.
Okay. You
On
feel
brand.
that
Yes.
this like chilly feeling bubble up in your stomach, and like a little, almost like a burp comes out, and
Yeah.
you can see just like this small blast of chill just comes out of your mouth. And you are aware what you could do now.
Okay,
So
great.
there you go.
Sorry, were you calling that scarf stupid? Because that seems like a pretty cool effect to me. No pun intended.
Mara,
she'll
what
take
did you
it.
get on your attack?
I rolled a 21.
For damage or for to
No,
To
just
hit.
to hit.
To hit.
Okay.
No, sure.
10 damage.
Okay, he's dead.
Oh wow, that's like no HP.
I'll let you in on a secret, guys. These guys, they're minion enemies.
Yeah.
You hit them, they die.
I see.
Good old 40.
There's a lot of them.
It's
Uh,
fun.
The Sea Devil's Curse.
I mean, I got what was it? 11
Got
in
our
one
title.
round.
What?
Pew! See Devil's Curse! You're gonna win! Pew! Pew! Take him out! Pew!
Target practice.
Harmony.
Yes.
Section of the ship that is right next to you, basically a piece from the stairs and a piece from a little, like over by the trebuchet, rises up as if like the boards like creak and rise up into a almost like a massive club-like shape.
Fun.
And lash out towards you.
What?
Cool.
Yep.
Oh jeez.
I've heard of layer actions, but this is ridiculous.
That is a 25 to hit and
Shit.
a 16.
The 16 misses. 16 would have missed anyway.
You take 21 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh gosh.
And the tentacles kind of recede back into the ship. They're not really tentacles. They're more like, I don't know, just those like club-like appendages recede back into the ship and it reforms. But then, this is the truly horrible part. Beneath your feet, the part of the ship that has you grappled opens up into like a maw, and you can see teeth form around the edges, and it chomps onto your leg.
Great.
And I need to make an attack for that. Oh, but that's not a very good roll. That's it's still okay, I guess. 20.
Miss.
There it is again.
Shield is still up.
You barely jerk your leg out of the way in time. But,
Shield blocks it.
That's right.
That is the ship's turn. Now it's Harmony.
Cool. Well, do these minion creatures seem intelligent at all?
Yes, they do. Like they're crying out in terror and shouting orders at each other.
Okay.
It's masking.
I'm going to cast suggestion on one next to me,
Okay.
and I'm going to say, I suggest you tell me where the captain is.
Say wisdom saving.
And wild magic goes on.
Nice.
Yes.
I believe it is wisdom, yes.
He fails. Yeah, roll a 7. So.
Yeah, it's wisdom.
His eyes kind of glaze over, and you can see that each one of these figures kind of has this like pruny, like frostbitten skin. Like all of their skin looks like it's been subjected to cold for hours and hours at a time, you know. And it is just drenched in water, and there's like bits of seaweed in all of their hair and things like that. But his eyes kind of glaze over, and he looks at you and he says, "Will the captain be in his quarters?" And he sort of points. Where would the captain's quarters be? Points to a door right there.
Cool. Thanks, Nick. Okay, then I'm gonna turn and bark.
Hero.
Hero! He's just making sure we are all
Safe.
safe.
It's half the fun is saying that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna turn and shout at Thaddeus Amara,
Mm-hmm.
"The captain's in his quarters!" and point. So you guys have that information.
Because I'm out of earshot. I'm slow.
You're very slow. And let's see what my wild magic is.
Limping.
Wouldn't it be funny if I rolled the same thing Thaddeus did?
guys. I'll be there in an hour. Did the ship move closer to us on its turn?
Oh yes, it would have.
Oh,
Yes!
fuck.
Nice.
Making great headway.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh yeah, the start of my turn, those two blinded guys need to roll their. Well, I guess the one that's still living. Thanks. Needs to roll their wisdom.
Fails.
It's like fluttering like
vanished.
this. It's like just barely moving.
We'll figure that out.
It's like a fro.
He was the lucky one.
Transported to another plane
Yeah,
of
you
existence.
can really
and
use like
is
aviators on. Let's protect yourself.
no longer.
You can
He's
see
no
straight.
longer blinded though.
That's great. He wakes up from his blindness in time to see that he is floating in
If
endless
he's-
underwater ocean, surrounded by giant sharks in the elemental plane of water.
Well, it says that a creature that is on a plane that isn't its home plane is banished home,
Oh, okay.
and then if not, then it's anywhere that you want.
Yep. So that's what he sees.
Other creatures are usually cast into the astral or ethereal planes.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting.
As for my wild magic, I'm gonna go with 84.
Okay. Oh boy.
Yep.
All right, roll that d4.
Okay.
I've seen this happen once before.
I thought this would be more interesting. Nope, not that one. 3.
3. Okay. You keep track of that. Harmony
Okay.
disappears from where she is on the ship after she points out the captain's quarters to you.
Oh,
I
okay.
disappeared.
Well, thanks for after.
That's good for you.
Yep. I think the other one was like an auto shield, which would have been nice too, but I think because I can cast shield anyway, this is
Yeah.
better.
At that point, it is the crew's turn, and they are shouting at each other. And generally, what they're shouting is, they're basically shouting, "This is bad. This is a really bad situation. These people, they're ridiculously strong. What are we gonna do? Someone needs to get the captain to shift the boat out of here." And another one shouts back, "But he'll never do that. He hasn't shown any interest in anything for weeks." And they're just like basically shouting this chaotic, terrified babble back and forth. However, they do continue to do the only thing they can do, which is man the catapults and the ballista. So, the only thing they can currently see within range is Mara.
Well,
he goes.
or
There he
Byakko and
goes.
Zan.
They've got a better chance of hitting Mara because Mara's within range.
That's
so
true.
Because Zant is...
Did we have healing potions, and how did those get distributed?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
We did have some.
Did we distribute? We didn't talk about this, but I would have assumed we distributed
I
them
think we did.
ahead of time.
We did talk about that. I think I have one of them.
Good berry.
They should be on the character sheets where they're distributed.
I don't
Yeah.
have any.
Then that's a
There was a
mistake.
knock just now, by the way.
I'll get it. I'll get it. Because my turn is ended.
Oh, true.
Okay.
Did we purchase some? We did, didn't we?
We did.
I thought we did.
Oh, I see. Yes, we did. Hang on. We didn't distribute them, I
I
don't think.
thought we talked
No.
about it though.
I thought we did too, but I don't have any on my sheet.
Yeah, we got 3 greater healing potions that we did not. I think what we did, because I had a superior one, is that we gave everyone else the one of each one.
Oh, okay. So I've got a greater
If that's-
function. That makes sense to me.
Okay. So,
So me too then.
yes,
You got one.
yeah, all 3 of you have 1.
Okay. So, Mara, you're the only one in range for the ballista, so it's going to go for you. However, Byakko and Zant are in range for the trebuchets, so we'll do one of each for you and Byakko.
Alright.
For Byakko, that is...
Yeah.
Mrs. Mary.
Oh my!
That'd be amazing!
Holy crap!
Oh my gosh, please do that!
Byakko, it's only a 14 to hit,
Miss.
and Zant, it is only a 9 to hit, so miss.
Hit. No.
You guys expertly dodge out of the way of the two
14
giant
and
stones
9.
that
You
come
say
from
that,
the
but they
fire.
just missed.
Why is it always
You have a
like
greater
this?
healing potion.
I do?
Yes.
Yes.
And then Mara, a much better attack against you.
Here it comes, Mark.
This is your chance.
So ready for this.
That is a 21 to hit Mara.
Oh no, it hits her.
Loves the missile snaring.
Okay. How do those work?
Wait.
With a ballista?
Is that the ballista or the
The
heavy?
ballista,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Oh my god, this has to work.
This massive arrow-like weapon comes hurtling towards you. You whip up the gloves and
She's been training with sand. She's used to the really big arrows.
Yeah.
Reduce the damage by 1d10 plus Dex modifier. Provided I have a free hand, which I do.
Yeah.
If I reduce the damage to 0, I can catch the missile.
If it's
If
small
it's
enough,
small
you
enough
could-
to hold in my hand.
we'll see how you do on the reduction.
Yeah. Roll
Yeah.
a d10.
Oh, you don't have one out. Yeah, one.
I do. It's right here.
Was that
Which
not
one do you
enough?
want?
Really, use it. You can
I
select.
didn't hear one.
This one, I haven't rolled any of them yet, so they're all the same.
What is hero? Heal.
So,
3.
so that's like
Well,
3
plus-
plus
Oh, my modifier for what did I
5.
just say?
5.
Oh, okay.
So
So 8.
So you reduce 25 damage by 8
Ah.
for a total of, I can't do math,
17.
17,
Mhm.
yes. And then you can technically use your reaction to halve that if you want.
Yes.
So that would half it down to 8 total.
No, wait.
No, because she used her action for the glove.
Oh, for the glove, right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can't like throw it back.
Nope. It hits you,
That
you
would be
try to catch it,
hilarious.
but it still just grazes against your side and does a
Okay.
significant amount of damage. The ones on deck, however, have no one to go for, and they basically just kind of group up and look confused.
Okay.
Oh,
Nora,
group up, you say?
it's your turn.
Yeah, huddle together for somebody.
Oh, my turn.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Okay. Okay. So how close are we now?
You and Thaddeus are within 120 feet.
What can I do?
It might matter soon.
Are the ones that are grouped around me like dispersing since I'm not there anymore?
Yeah, they would be.
Oh, okay.
You can put them up by the ballista.
Okay. Got these two over here.
Okay.
Oh,
well,
according to
I'll
Kate.
just try another. I'll just try another short bow then.
Alrighty.
Um,
Any particular target?
We're over here. So I guess the closest one.
Okay.
The straggler over here.
Roll your
That's
attack.
really far.
22.
That hits, and he's dead. The arrow pierces into him. You hear a Wilhelm scream, and he goes toppling off the side of the deck. You've officially killed 20 of these guys now.
Wow.
Zan.
Well, we're gonna trundle
And the other.
along.
Okay. Go another 60 feet.
Yeah, you know.
I'd just like to say that more than half of them are me.
For the brief moment, you
For
are
now.
dead even with Moonlight Sparkle.
So I'm gonna
Except you
grapple
wouldn't know it.
Moonlight Sparkle to keep.
He's in
No, I'm just
trouble.
kidding. Maybe they can take us faster.
But you can't see her.
I can. Well, I can see her.
You can see
Yeah, you
Mara.
can see
So
Mara
obviously
sitting
I know where
astride
Moonlight
an
Sparkle
invisible
is.
horse.
Straddling nothing.
Would that make us go faster?
Okay, I'm sights out.
What are you gonna do?
All right. I'll make 3 more
Pants.
shots with my
I know,
bow.
but
This game is ridiculous.
This is amazing. Okay, so you said that the ship itself has receded from Harmony, and
Yes,
she's gone.
Harmony is gone.
She's vanished.
where'd everybody go?
Do I know where she is? Is she just stealth or? Okay.
I mean, roll a perception check if you want.
Well, I was hoping my passive perception was high enough,
What's
but
your passive perception?
23.
She has vanished without a trace.
Okay. Well, 3 shots on 3 of our favorite ones. The lowest roll is a 15.
3 hits, 3 kills.
Okay. So,
Nick, you want to knock off 3 of them?
Yeah, where were you firing at?
uh,
Oh, you got the trebuchets, right?
Yeah, we can do the trebuchet ones.
Or do you want the ballista ones?
Which one is actually in range of us, given our distance right now?
I mean, you can pick any of them at this point.
Can both of them still hit us? Is what I'm asking.
Oh, the trebuchets?
Yeah.
Yes.
And the catapults.
Yep. With
Okay.
both the trebuchets and the ballista.
They don't have like a dead zone, like like a minimum range.
Their ranges are pretty long. It's 120 and 480 for the ballista.
Why don't you just get these 3?
That's fine.
For the other one, it's like
He hasn't even rolled to hit them yet.
I did.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
for the trebuchets, it's 200 and 800. So
Okay.
they've got range.
But they don't have a minimum range, is what I'm asking.
No.
Like they can hit like 5 feet in front of them,
Oh well, I mean,
right?
technically the trebuchet one does, but
That's what I was wondering. Is if we were
You're
entered the
not
minimum
within
range
that
of it,
distance.
so we weren't gonna
Not yet.
be threatened by it. Okay.
So the air attack is a good way to go.
can't do anything. Thaddeus and Moonlight Sparkle.
Okay. They're gonna see Mara just screaming down toward them.
You can now place yourself on the ship. Now
Yeah.
you're within range.
Well, I'm not gonna go on the ship.
In like a straddle position, you're like.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear
Put
me that I
yourselves on line
yelled
up.
where the
Yeah,
captain
flying at
was?
the same
To
time.
you and Mara.
Oh, shit.
You were going to give
That-
candy,
Oh,
but
okay.
I
you
yelled
did.
before I disappeared. I yelled
Okay.
to you and Mara. The captain's
where's
in,
Pinky?
in the quarters there, and I pointed.
Okay. All right. Good to know.
Pinky doesn't shrink with the ship.
Pinky's probably in my pocket.
There's lots of pinkies.
Yeah, there's lots of pinkies. Pinkies swimming.
There's no way that all
there's
pinkies
a
are.
there's a cloud of cranium rats like half a mile back, just swimming.
Yeah.
Rats can swim for a little while.
I
They'll
need
be
to make
They'll be
her
fine.
fashion them a little miniature boat.
What's my dex
A
saving
blow-up
throw for
raft.
the dragon
In
spell?
case of emergency.
Is it my spell
We'll do
casting?
your spell save.
Okay. All right. That's 19.
Normally for wild magic stuff, it's
Yeah.
spell
For
save.
that matter,
Dex
with
saves
the parrot. Uh-oh.
against these
Fine.
4 here.
Okay. Dex. Oh jeez, these guys are very good. What do they got?
Poison spit or something.
Yeah,
Or
dex saves.
poison poop.
We've got an 11. We've
What?
got a 15.
It was like zoning out for a
We've
second.
got a
I said,
14 and a 14.
All right. All of those fail.
They're all dead.
They're all dead. Yeah. Why they're all?
Because you like to know how much it was. For the record, it was 9.
Thanks. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
You're
and
welcome.
what kind of attack was it? I'm sorry, we're goofy.
This
It
was a
was-
dragon's cold.
Yeah, what does it look like, Thaddeus?
This is the wild magic effect.
It kind of looks like. It almost looks like it's coming out of Mara's ear. Because she's riding side saddle, and this invisible spot just like shoots this big flume of cold, of like frigid breath.
Yeah, like you remember Mandus when he breathed the cold breath out? It looks like a smaller version of that almost.
Yeah.
And they all just sort of freeze into icicles there on the back.
Great.
Do you want to just put yourselves on the map
Yeah.
for reference where you want to be now that you're up?
No, I'm fine, thanks.
We're here. Moonlight Sparkle lands, and Thaddeus dismounts with some of his movement and wants to go into the quarters with the rest if he's able to move.
Okay.
How many did you kill?
3 or 4.
So Thaddeus, the door there is it's like almost like 15, 20 feet tall, just about as wide. Well, I guess it's more like 10 feet. So it'd be like 10 foot by 15 foot.
Mhm.
It's a huge door, but with your strength, it's not hard to pull it open on its rusted hinges, which creak with effort as you do. And inside you see a dark chamber with a couple features. There's no beds or anything in here, like you might expect from someone's chambers, but there does appear to be a massive, and I mean like 20 foot long and like 10 foot tall stone, it almost looks like a stone table or something at first. But once you look at it, you realize it actually has a top to it. It's a sarcophagus of some sort that is in sort of the center of the room. And then, other than that, roll a perception check.
Yeah, I think I can only get like 5 feet into the room because of dismount movement and then movement in. What is that? It's not very.
Mm-hmm.
16.
16. You see what might basically looks like a large sword that seems to be hovering in the air, but it's a wicked looking like dark black metal type thing. But as you look closer at it, you can see that like it has this ethereal nature to it. You can actually see through the thing as if it is only partially here. And that is all that you see in the chamber.
And that's it for me. And I'm still invisible here.
Okay.
So is Moonlight Sparkle for some reason.
Did you kick the door down or what?
We pulled it open.
Was it just open?
Yeah.
It wasn't locked?
Wasn't locked.
Alright.
Then it is
gracefully dismount off of nothingness.
the ship's turn. Actually, Thaddeus, you wouldn't be able to step into the chamber. You could still pull the door open, but like Harmony, when you land on the ship,
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
your feet would be stuck to it as
Okay.
if it was by like some adhesive or something like that.
So Moonlight Sparkle is also grappled.
Yep. And then
Could I still see what I saw?
yes,
Okay.
you can still pull the door open
Yeah.
and see all of that.
Okay.
You just can't step inside.
Yeah.
And then the ship has ample targets now. But I think it's going to go for Thaddeus. Two of these massive club-like appendages erupt from the ship, one from the wall next to you and one from the steps behind you. And both of them try to attack Thaddeus. Two natural 20s, I kid you not.
Whoa, okay.
Yep, okay. Guess I have to roll damage on these.
Whew.
That's
You can make them D4s.
Where's my... Oh, there it is.
Daddy's getting beat up by a boat.
Uh,
It's a weird day.
You weren't the first.
Mars fire, or Mars air breathe fire.
31 points of bludgeoning damage from one.
From one. Gosh.
And then 28 points of bludgeoning damage from the second. As these two massive wooden appendages just wail into you. And then under Moonlight Sparkle's feet, this mouth opens up, which is lined with these wicked looking teeth that just bites into Moonlight Sparkle's leg. Not anywhere near as good of a roll. It's a 2.
Okay,
Wow.
A
that makes
significant amount. So 16 total.
Wait, it's a... Oh, okay. Wait, did you roll to hit or did you donate to?
It was 2 plus 14 for 16.
Oh,
To
okay.
hit.
I think that hits. Let me check. Yes.
Okay, so Moonlight Sparkle takes 19 points of piercing damage, and then 8 points of acid damage. And then the mouth opens wide. Moonlight Sparkle is large, right?
Hang on a second.
Yes. Yeah, it says large celestial.
Yeah, a large celestial. Yeah.
The mouth opens wide, clamps onto Moonlight Sparkle's legs, and pulls her down and closes above her.
Yikes.
And
Wow.
Moonlight Sparkle is now...
Is Mara still on the back of Moonlight Sparkle?
You would fall off of Moonlight Sparkle at that point and onto the deck, I think. Moonlight Sparkle is now blinded and restrained,
Okay.
and inside in between layers of the ship, essentially.
Whew.
Harmony, one turn passes.
What?
So, I have a question here
Mm-hmm.
about, because I think I know what spell happened. Has the ship moved forward since Harmony's disappearance?
Yes, it has continued to move forward.
Okay.
At a slower pace now that the Drowning Kiss isn't present, but it does continue to slowly sort of arc around in a curve.
Okay. So, okay. Go for it.
Yep, that's fine.
Everything's fine.
Thaddeus,
Uh-huh.
you see something in the depths of the chamber. There's sort of a shimmering in the air as if a curtain that wasn't there before is materializing, and something reaches forward and draws that curtain to the side and steps forward into this world from some other location. As you see the spectral, ethereal, transparent form of the ghost of a giant appear in the chamber.
I thought it was going to be Captain Prettybeard for a second. For a second.
Oh my gosh.
let me give you a description.
Is
of
the
what
chamber
you
big enough to hold a giant?
see. It is.
It's a giant ship that we're on.
That's true.
This, which that's the wrong
But all the
description.
minions are tiny.
This
Maybe
pale,
they're like
transparent blue figure steps into existence, and you can see with your experience with the giants features that are hallmarks of the cloud giants specifically. Sort of the wispy, flowing hair that it might have had at one point, and it seems to, even in its ghostly form, be adorned with decadent jewelry and things like that that have become part of its ethereal nature. And then, as it sort of opens its mouth and smiles at you, you can see that it has sort of like the slightly pointed teeth of cloud giants as well. It appears to be clothed in loose sailing clothes that you would recognize from your experience with Mara, the same sort of outfit. At its side hangs an ethereal rapier, and in its hand, what you thought was a sword, it clutches what, by its reckoning, is probably a dagger. And it strides forward towards you and kind of kneels down to your level and says, "So, who are you to board my ship?"
Sir Thaddeus Hammerlock.
And it kind of just gets up close to you, this deathly face looking
Can you
into...
see invisibility?
I believe that you can.
Because you're still invisible.
I am
At this
still
point,
invisible.
You are still invisible. Let me double check to make sure.
So
Okay.
was Moonlight Sparkle, right? Did you make that attack at disadvantage?
I did not. But 2 was the worst it was going to get
Okay.
on the dice. So,
That was a pretty bad roll.
also, the thing that was attacking it isn't affected by invisibility because it has blind sight.
That's true. Good point.
Let's see, senses. If you can see into the ethereal plane, that doesn't mean you can see invisibility,
No.
right? Okay, so it can't see you, and you can tell that it can't see you as
Uh-huh.
it kind of steps into the space of the doorway and kind of is looking around. But it still says, "Who has invaded my ship?" And it's just sort of looking around, but you can tell it hasn't seen you. Does that change your response?
No, I don't think so.
And it just kind of
Do you still talk to it?
Sure.
looks contemplative and says, "Sir Thaddeus Hammerlock, your titles unfortunately mean nothing to me. I do not recognize your human empires." And he's still just kind of like looking around and says, "Where are you? Show yourself and we may parley." And it just kind of leans back on the stone sarcophagus and twirls the dagger in its hand. That's its turn.
Okay.
The
I can drop concentration on a spell at any time, right?
yeah, I'd say so.
I think I'll do it.
Okay. So you become visible, and Moonlight Sparkle would become visible, but Moonlight Sparkle's in the ship.
Such a weird-
He sort of, now that he can see you, leans forward a bit more and says, "Ah, very good. So you can be reasoned with. Come into my chambers." And just sort of beckons you inward.
Okay. All my turns.
And
something will happen.
sheaths the dagger.
Okay.
The crew of the ship, seeing the ghostly form in the chambers, recognize Thaddeus, and Thaddeus becoming visible there and being beckoned inward, stops what they're doing and just sort of observes. Mara, would you make a perception check at this point?
Are you proficient in perception?
Mhm.
Oh, good. So that's a 10.
So 18.
18. Among the members of crew that are on the deck, you see one that you recognize. One of them that is sort of at the back trebuchet.
One that I was shooting at.
He has the same sort of like aquatic creature form that the rest of them have, in that he has a like a large dorsal fin on his back, like a shark. And you can see when he sort of opens his mouth to shout to one of the other crew members that it is ringed with shark's teeth. But you recognize, though much more disheveled now than the sort of put together form from back when you knew him. The long dark hair and scar across the cheek, that's probably the giveaway, of one of the crew members of, what was the ship's name?
The Natalie's, the Bon Natalie.
Yes, that one. Of your grandfather's ship. And you would have known him back in the day. Everyone on the ship called him Maps. That was just what he was called. No one really knows what his actual name is. But he was the quartermaster for that ship. And he doesn't seem to have seen you yet, but he is in conversation with one of these other crew members over there. Mara, it's your turn.
Maps!
As you shout that out, as if woken from a daze almost, like wasn't expecting to hear that name called out, he looks over towards you and says, Mara? Mara, is that you?
Sure is.
What are you doing here? And begins to rush in your direction.
What happened to you?
One thing you would remember about Maps is how he got his the scar on his face. Back when you were young, and the crew members were all very protective of you as they were sort of raising you, there was an instance where Mara snuck into town and got into a little bit of trouble. And it was Maps and a few of the others who sort of came to your rescue, and he earned that scar in a duel protecting you from some ne'er-do-wells back in the day. And he comes forward and he says, What are you doing here? You shouldn't be here.
You shouldn't be here. What's going on?
A lot, I suppose, that you should know about, but your grandfather, he'll be so disappointed. He wouldn't want you to be here. You should leave. You really should.
I can't leave. I'm with my friends. We have to help.
Well, I see that, but come with me. And he sort of draws you off to the side. And now that Thaddeus is parlaying with the ghostly figure, your feet seem to be released from the ground. Is there anything else you want to do with your turn?
Well, I'm not going to attack him, so I'll go with him.
Okay. Zant? Gonna wing your way this way?
Yeah, I'm making my way over. But I'm not going to shoot. I'm going to hold an action to make an attack, because I saw...
With the distance the Sea Devil's Curse is closed, you can actually alight on its deck this turn if you want.
I will not. I'll stay on Flying Bianco. But I will hold an action to make an attack if Thaddeus emerges out of that door either like more hurt or in like a bad situation, then I'm gonna probably take a shot against the captain.
Okay. Thaddeus, your turn comes around.
Okay.
You feel the ship release your feet as well.
When I said shark's teeth,
I turned to Mara
pretty
because I
normal.
know, like, it's really her. I like need her help in parlaying, and I see she's already running off to somebody else. And I'd like, Mara, are you coming?
Just a sec. We may have an ally.
All right. Thaddeus goes inside the chamber.
Okay. There's really no place for you to sit or anything like that, because like I said, pretty much the main feature of this room is this stone sarcophagus. But the ghostly figure just beckons you into the room and says, I heard the screams of my men aboard the ship. I know what you and your friends are capable of. What I don't know is your intention. What do you want with my vessel? Speak it and be on your way.
We want our people back.
And you can see an eyebrow goes up at that.
The crew of, and Thaddeus like racks his brain to remember because Mara isn't here to tell him. What was the name of your ship?
The other ship?
Yeah.
The Bon Natalie?
The Bon Natalie, as well as Captain Constance Holt.
Bon Natalie, now that rings a bell. If I recall, I rescued its crew from certain death. Unfortunately, they're not mine to offer you.
Then who should I be speaking with?
Well, we'll see if I pass your communication onward. I assume if you come with these demands, you have something to bargain with.
Flying tiger. No.
I think Thaddeus.
I mean,
Can I make an insight check here?
Yeah, roll an insight check.
Okay.
didn't he just say I see what you're capable of?
Right, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. It's like I'm tempted to say my bargainers will stop doing that,
Good.
but I don't know if that's a good idea. So it's a 16.
16. So your insight. What are you trying to learn from with this insight check?
How do we actually make this guy afraid?
Okay. What I will say. Let me just get some different music up here. And I think Harmony. We can probably actually drop out of initiative at this point. So you'll reappear shortly.
Great.
He is not intimidated by you in the slightest. He is very confident in his ability. What you would gain with a 16 is that he knows you're more than a match for his crew, but he's still not afraid of you.
Okay. Then I would
He
say.
still thinks he has the upper hand in this negotiation.
Then I would say, in exchange, we can discuss Fournette's fortune.
With that, his whole countenance changes. His whole composure breaks. He says, "Fournette's fortune. What do you know of it? Do you have means to help me in my search for it?"
Let's discuss.
And he says, "If you have a means to reunite me with the remainder of Fournette's fortune, I am prepared to offer you nearly anything,
Well, I'll want the rest of my crew to be here for that negotiation.
by all means." And he gestures towards the door.
Including your Moonlight Sparkle.
She's a valuable member of this party.
Yeah, Moonlight Sparkle is ejected from the ship, essentially. However, while within
Probably
there,
with feathers, like,
Moonlight Sparkle.
If she took like any damage,
Really
there's no Moonlight Sparkle to eject.
Okay, let's see.
Is there a
That close
burping
to
noise from the
dead.
ship?
Yeah, Moonlight Sparkle would take 12 acid damage
Oh, yeah.
while in there.
Yeah, that
Right.
spell's over.
Oh.
Moonlight Sparkle was dissolved within the ship,
Oh.
within the floorboards of the ship.
I'll have to use cast again. She's back, but she's gone at the moment.
Poor thing.
short life, but a
Harmony,
merry one.
what was the roll?
I had 3. It was 3.
I'm trying to find the number.
Oh.
The Wild Magic Kit.
84?
84, I think was
Yes.
correct, yeah.
Reappear in the space you previously occupied. Yeah.
It's not like I was transported to another plane for 3 turns.
Uh-huh.
I was transported 3 turns into the future. So I'm
Oh.
still in the same place on the ship.
That's what I was trying to figure
Yeah,
out.
I figured that's what you were thinking. If the
Yeah.
ship is moving, but I appear in
Yeah.
the same spot. But
I'm
it's
gonna go
actually
with that interpretation.
Okay.
There's
Because
a
it's
That's
the
better.
future.
Yeah.
There's a loud crack, and Harmony reappears at that point in the ship. Harmony, you can see the bodies
I
of the
thought
crew
that was a good idea.
litter the deck. Some of them are frozen solid. And you can also see Mara speaking with one of the crew members, and
Just
I guess
for
Zant
flavor.
and Yako are hovering
Yeah,
above.
I made it.
Just for flavor, the minute I reappear, I'm like trying to struggle to get myself free, and I fall on my butt because I'm suddenly not grappled anymore. Then I like turn to jump off the ship, but then I realize that there's no one around me anymore, and I look around like, what happened? What? Why is the fighting stopped? Did we win?
We won.
Did we win?
Yeah, it's an instantaneous jump for you.
Yep.
We're waiting for you in here, Harmony. Thaddeus calls out. What's up with Mara? What's she doing?
We can play out your conversation with Maps now if you want. Let me review Maps information here. Okay. Maps says You have no idea what you've walked into here, Mara. This is a truly bad situation. I know that you believe you have to be here, but there's something you can do, I think, to help all of us and simultaneously leave here with your lives. You can surrender that coin to the captain. I know you have it. Anton, he's always talking about how you have the coin, and if the captain found out, he'd come for you, but if you just let him know, if you tell him and give it to him. And you can see there's like pleading in his eyes, like he fully believes that is what you could do, the only thing you could do to save him and the rest of the crew that is bound here.
Well, I will take it under consideration, but I need to find out more information about this captain and what will happen when the treasure is all amassed.
And he sort of gives a solemn nod and says, I think that Anton it was his turn to rest, so I'll go down to the crew's quarters and I'll let him know you're on board, but please, consider it. And he just gives you another pleading look. I know that if you surrender the coin to the captain, he'll let us free.
Is my grandfather here?
And he gives a nod. Yes, we followed him. He made the decision, and we followed it. Well, not all the crew, but
Take me to him.
all right. And he kind of just gestures over to the door and says, "But I think your friends are calling you over to there."
He said he'd bring him up for you.
I'll have to be patient and wait. Can you bring him to me then?
Yeah,
Please.
of course. Like I said, he'll be thrilled to hear that you're here. Well, perhaps a mix of thrilled and afraid, but I'll go wake him and bring him up here. You just, please, do what you need to do.
Okay.
And he turns and walks away. Goes down one of the hatches to lower into the ship.
Am I close enough to make an insight check on that, or
Yeah,
is it
sure.
okay? Is he being controlled to say these things? Is what I want to insight. That's not very good, but I did. It is a 13.
13.
I've done that too, but I'm too overwhelmed to see him.
He seems earnest in that he sincerely believes that surrendering the coin is an avenue to saving the former crew of the Bon Natalie. No? What was the ship called?
That's it.
Okay,
Natalie.
Natalie.
Yeah.
13? There is something else, some other emotion mixed into his words, but you can't determine what it is.
Okay. I'm gonna message Mara and say, well, because we've seen the captain at this point, right? I have as well, and we've recognized the features that he has. So remember, Mara, we're dealing with a looks like a cloud giant, and if you remember the ones that we faced earlier on Genbu, they're very tricksy. He could be controlling the whole crew.
Yeah, that's why I didn't promise him anything,
Yeah. So.
because I don't know with him and that figure. It's not really him. Anyway, it's
Sure.
not really mapped, so. Alright, we'll see what we can do.
So, Zant, do you go with, or do you stay floating above the ship?
Just spying.
Now that I have this newfound power.
Well,
not
it'll
like
wear
he's
off after a while.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I'll come with. I'll be with my friends.
Okay. The group of you file into the dark chamber that is only illuminated by Thaddeus's sword at this point, and see the massive stone sarcophagus and the ghostly captain, cloud giant piratey captain leaning up against the sarcophagus. And when the four of you have entered the chamber, plus Bianco, I assume, he says, "Well, is that all of you?"
For now, yes.
And he waves a hand, and the door creaks shut with a thud. He says, "Now we parlay. You mentioned Fornyat's fortune. If you know of it, and you are bold enough to mention it in negotiations, I presume that's a promise you can make good on. Tell me, do you know where it is?
I do. But I don't know what exactly it does. So let's talk about that first.
The treasure once united, and it's incredibly difficult to unite, I might add, gives one the power to command death and
That-
bend it to their will.
That much we've heard, but what sorts of things can you make death do?
He waves his hand again. He stands up from the sarcophagus and waves his hand again, and the massive stone lid rolls off of it. And the group of you can't quite see what is within, but you can, like, because it's raised up off the ground. But he kind of gestures towards the inside and says, "You may climb up and take a look with it if you wish."
I'll go take a look.
Me too.
Harmony,
I'll-
it's a bit
I'll
of a
help-
difficult
yeah,
skill.
I'd have to climb.
I'll help Harmony.
Actually climb.
Climb
Once
up on
the
Xan's
two of
shoulder.
you climb up to the edge of the sarcophagus, you see within, basically, the skeletal remains of a giant figure. Basically, it looks humanoid in form, but the proportions are that of a giant. And they are covered by hundreds of these coins that are encrusted with barnacles, similar to the ones that Mara carries.
So I'll ask, who's this?
Says, I'm getting to that. It's all part of the point I'm trying to illustrate. The fortune, once united, gives one the power to reverse the effects of death on, let's say, a loved one, a friend, a family member, regardless of the traumas that induced their death, or the flow of the sands of time that have aged them and held their soul captive.
What's your name, by the way?
Ah, how rude of me. I am Captain Iger of the Sea Devil's Curse, at your service.
Igor?
Iger, A-E-G-I-R. And who do I address? I know
Oh, that name is
it's
familiar.
Sir Thaddeus Hamlock, of course.
I'm Ferdinand von Iyer.
That's what I've been thinking the whole time.
I know, I named him a long time before the game, but, you know, whatever. I suppose I could have changed it, but
My name is Mara Stormwind, and I believe my grandfather's on your ship.
yes, I'm familiar with him. Your friend Sir Thaddeus Hamlock here mentioned the Bon Natali as one of the terms of our parley. If you're connected to the captain of that ship, then I suppose I understand your reasoning for boarding my vessel. I would be willing to cooperate with you in seeing him released from his bonds as well as his crew, if you have indeed knowledge that proves of use to me in reuniting Fornion's fortune.
How?
Wait, you still haven't answered my question that you were getting to. Who is this?
Oh, you're right. Who is this?
Snapping back at me. Jeez.
He got a little bit distracted because of the introductions. But he resumes his story that he was going to launch into. He says, "These are the remains of an ancient friend of mine from time long past, when the giants ruled over the southernmost continent of this world, from a kingdom known as Ostoria. His name is Helblindi. Doubtless he's passed from records that your people keep and is no longer known to you, but in his time he was quite something. And all of you can roll insight checks there, if you want. Now that
Yep,
you've
I
had a
was going to.
description.
It's okay, I got you.
Good. Got a 1.
20.
20 from Mara?
27.
Okay. The two of you can tell that behind the words there's more than just respect. And he mentioned friendship, but when he said when he was describing the relationship between the two of them, there was a bit more that was like insinuated but not said.
So I think catching that, I'll say, go on.
He raises an eyebrow and says, "Go on. That's all there is to the story. What do you wish to know?"
Who is this to you?
Well, I didn't consider it any of your business because we were private about it, but well, in truth, we were lovers once, and he meant a great deal to me, and I would do anything to be reunited with the one I loved.
I see.
I'm confused because you're a ghost.
Our love was not, and will not be limited by the bounds of death and undeath.
Then why do you need the fortune?
It's precisely because of that bond that I need the fortune. It is the only thing that can recall his spirit to this plane at this point.
But this isn't a two-way street, control over death. We're not handing you control to snuff out whatever life you wish.
Oh no, that is a false rumor that surrounds the treasure. I suppose you must have heard it at this point.
So there's a limit.
The treasure is used
Yeah.
to recall the ancient dead and no more. Once it is used once, its contents will be scattered across the plains and must be reunited once more.
Dragon Balls.
I've gone to great lengths to acquire this much,
Yeah. I think
and I'm so
like-
close.
Titus is a big old softy for romance stories, so he's like
So,
really
I'm
tempted
gonna-
to just hand it over at this point.
Well, it's not up to you.
I know it,
Do you
but
want me
that's
to
why
roll?
I'm not doing it. But I'm really tempted.
Yeah.
I want to insight something. Do you want me to
I'm
roll
saying
something
you don't
new,
even have
or do
it,
you want me to
though.
keep that?
Yeah, roll a new insight.
Okay. I want to insight his intentions. That is a 20.
A 20?
Is he truly? Is what he's saying
Yeah,
absolutely true?
You
Or
can
is he
tell
tricking
that he is not the sort of person to be open with things initially. You definitely would have gotten this much information from him if you hadn't mentioned that you have some knowledge of the treasure. When you pried further, he was impressed by sort of your insight and perception, and he told you his true relationship to the
Okay.
person he's trying to resurrect at that point. Otherwise, he's a much more guarded and private person, and definitely would not have confided that.
Okay.
I think Thaddeus is going to message. Well, do we still have the earrings? We did,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thaddeus is going to message Mara and say, "This seems like it can all be over very quickly, but it's up to you."
I feel like I've gotten this coin for another purpose. Not for just him.
Like I said, it's up to you.
So.
But you,
Wait.
You've grown awfully silent now.
Yeah.
Is there more you wish to know?
I mean, they kept this coin safe for all these generations.
Do you produce the coin?
No,
No,
this is messaging.
messaging.
For all these generations, just for me to hand it over to some strange ghost, I don't feel like this is right. I feel like we need to do something and take the rest of the coins.
I will ask him something.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say, and how do you plan to live your lives after, if you reunite the fortune and resurrect this person that you care about?
I cannot speak for what Helrindy will wish to do, but I myself will be content to find a place where we can be alone.
And so you would abandon, and I would kind of gesture at the ship and the crew.
Without a second thought.
So trade the coin for a ship.
How much of the fortune is left
Uh,
to find?
to find, he says, there's the rub, but a single coin. Do you know how difficult it is to track a single coin within the vastness of the entire multiverse? I'm so close, and yet so far.
How long
Here
have you
fate
been-
has delivered you, those with knowledge, to to further my quest.
I couldn't know and leave.
How long have you searched?
Thousands of years.
Okay, how much is your group? What do you think?
I say yes.
I think we should, well, I was going to say review the agenda, but
My advice would be yes. It's not my call, but that's my advice.
there has to be, this is a two-way street though, we're in parlay.
We can ask for more, but before you got here, he said he would give us everything. He would give anything for this. He would give us-
Everything or anything?
Anything is what he said.
yeah.
So if he and this other giant, what if we have them do the? Okay, if I put it in, then I become Master of Death, correct? If I put in the last one.
Theoretically.
What if I do it instead of him, and then I grant him the boon, and then we reap the
So
benefits?
our
the ship.
negotiation is that, okay.
Well,
Or
it
one of
doesn't
you,
really
any-
matter who makes the wish though, because like he said, after the wish is over, the coins
But it
are gonna
also puts
scatter.
us in control.
It does. It's true.
Yeah, I don't trust him.
Okay.
The other
So-
thing is, I want to know what anything is.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got the skeletal remains of a giant in his
Yeah.
quarters.
Yeah.
It's covered in the barnacle coins.
But what we can do is we can toss in the coin and grant what he says his wish is, and if that's what actually what he wants, great. And if it's not, well then we just stop something that from happening.
Yes.
But yeah, let's talk about what you can do for us in return.
As I said, I'm prepared to offer anything. I have a vast fortune, not this fortune. The sort of treasure that your kind finds appealing, and I admit I found held my focus captive for a long time back when I was mortal. But now I have no use for it, and it is mere clutter in the hull of my ship.
Start writing.
You came here for the freedom of the crew of a specific vessel. Well, that's not something I can grant myself. I can cooperate in.
Why is
ensuring
that, though?
Can't you?
I thought you'd ask. And he takes a seat on the edge of the coffin and looks down at the skeletal form that is in there, and you can see like there's a sorrow on his face that even after all these years he still feels. But then he looks back up at you and says, I needed a crew. I needed a crew that could travel the plains with me. And the depths of the oceans. And I had none. So I made a deal with a being, and a proxy of that being now resides on this ship and presides over the agreements which the new crew who I save make for their lives.
Send him here. Bring him here.
What I'm saying is, every crew member on this ship was dead before we met. They were, in the case of the Bone Natali, dying of disease. They were drowning. They were lost at sea, and I came upon them and offered them a second chance at life. Through the power of the being who I've made an agreement with, they were granted that, and now it presides over their contracts.
Is this being the one that controls the ship?
No. That is my power and my privilege alone. However, it does reside within the belly of the ship, and I can guide you to it and offer you aid against it. If you truly have what I need.
So,
So we'd have to go kill the thing
If
to
we just
free your crew, your family.
sounds
Sounds
like it.
And we don't know what it is.
So-
We'll find
It's a
more
devil of
info
some
about
sort,
that.
sounds like.
Yeah.
Captain
Being.
Iger nods. Yes, it is a diabolical creature.
This comes back to devils with this.
The ship itself was named the Sea Devil's Curse long before this bargain was struck, but it is all the more apt now, I think.
So, the ship still remains as is if this being is.
But you can't kill them unless you're in the 9 hells, right? Sorry.
You would know not permanently. If
Yeah.
a devil is killed on this plane, assuming what resides within the ship is a devil,
Like the Raksasha.
it would be sent back to the plane that it's from.
Would that break the contract?
Yeah,
or would we
that's
have
the
to kill it
question.
in the hells to break the contract?
Captain Iger shakes his head and says, "To be true, I have no real
Can I roll a check or
Yeah,
something
sure.
to see if
You
I
can
know
roll a
the
check.
answer to that question?
Is Moloch with us?
Yeah. He's always with us.
Moloch just.
What
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
kind of check would it be?
Arcana. You can take it at advantage because it has to do with the hells."
Not
Good,
bad,
nice.
not bad. And that's Arcana, so that would be 24.
Okay.
Great.
Most contracts are not broken as simply as slaying the devil with which they are made.
Mm-hmm.
There either has to be a loophole in the contract which can be exploited to break the deal, or in some cases, not all, some bargains are like chiseled into a physical manifestation of the bargain, which is then stored somewhere in the 9 hells, and if that manifestation is destroyed, then the bargain that is chiseled within it would end.
The paperwork.
I
And
convey
I've
that
got
to the
keys.
team.
However, you are confident that just simply killing this devil would not do it.
Yeah, so, okay. But I do have an outstanding favor
The devil lawyer.
with a devil lawyer who might be able to find a loophole
Call
in
in
the
the
paperwork,
lawyers.
Yeah,
which you don't know about.
which I don't know about.
I do.
Yeah, you were with me.
I
she
was
wasn't
with you.
me.
Yeah. Mike Dives is gonna hate this.
So I'll probably message just Xant about that and say, well, but I do know a lawyer.
I've forgotten about this. What do you propose the lawyer would do, though?
Might be able to find a loophole in the paperwork.
I mean, yeah. Well,
He did say, I think his offer was to help me get out, or help
With
me
a
get out
contract?
of a contract, right?
It was for sort of like legal consultation. But I mean, in infernal terms, that means like find a loophole in a contract.
Exactly. So
All too.
this is exactly the kind of thing he promised to me.
interesting. Then I guess it fits the bill.
Yeah. So I'll pull Mara aside.
Thaddeus is like looking around suspiciously, like he could tell something is happening.
And then
He's
I'll
not privy to
I'll
it.
probably message
Actually, I'll
Thaddeus
just be
and be like,
messaging Mara.
I'll message Thaddeus and be like, this is actually okay, probably.
It's a bit annoying to be on the outside of the conversation, is it not?
Sorry, Captain. We have a lot to think about right now.
Good.
It's fine. I
I'm
have
just
an
telling you
eternity
about the
Oh,
lawyer.
okay.
to
but-
wait, and I've
but-
waited thousands of years to get to this point, so I can wait a few more moments.
It
Take
really
your
again.
time.
If I do again now to join the
Hmm.
Goins, I still don't trust him to do what he says he's gonna do.
I think that's an okay thing to ask.
I don't want him to know. Well, are we ready to reveal that we have it on our
No.
person?
I say
It's
do
up
what,
to you.
do what you're gonna do. I mean, I
It's
like
your-
I like
it's
your
your-
plan personally.
So, sensing the unrest, I'm gonna message Mara and say, why don't you talk to your grandfather first?
Mm-hmm.
So I've been trying to do, but he's not him right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can trust what he says either.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
It seemed like these are almost two separate things. Like
Mm-hmm. Like it's
I don't think that
That-
dealing with this guy fairly is gonna set us back any with this devil that lives in the hold.
Okay. So you're
Yeah,
ready
I
to
see
do
what
it?
you're saying.
So we can get on with
let me
our
think for a
mission.
second.
Another
Mhm,
mission.
mhm.
Okay.
So we need to ask for enough money to pay for all the ship we need to pay for to get in the hells.
And I want the ship.
You want the ship? We don't need the ship though.
It's big. It's huge.
And
we
it
could
has
sell it.
lots
we
of
could,
weapons.
We could store it.
Give it to your grandfather.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay. Just as long as we get enough money to pay for the paperwork.
Yeah, that's important.
Mm.
Mhm.
And whatever else we need.
See how? Yeah. Okay.
As you all kind of look to Captain Iger,
So-
he just sort of looks with surprise back at you and says, "Oh, have you?"
So limited method.
Well,
So
it's
I
like,
guess. Well, the other thing is, basically, you're asking to become the
There's
captain
more
of the ship,
deliberation, I see. Okay.
right? You get
I-
control of his fortune, not that
Yeah.
fortune. You get control of the ship
Yeah.
as much as possible,
Yep.
And his assistance in dealing with
And-
the devil.
Yep.
and his assistance. Yeah. So you would ask for Rain, or his. You basically ask for his.
Those are the three things we want, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to get it in writing first before we whip the coin out. I'm surprised he hasn't tried to attack me.
He doesn't know you have
us
it yet.
Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't know we have it.
He just thinks we can help him get it.
Okay. All right. So
Which
we
I
lay out our
can,
terms.
Which were a bunch of money,
Yeah.
the ship, and
Assistance.
assistance.
With the devil.
It's basically Mara's the new captain of the ship
Yeah.
and gets control over his assets.
Assistance I'm more than happy to lend. Unfortunately, I myself cannot. If it is a fight, I cannot
Mhm.
participate due to the agreement I have struck with the being.
So what sort of
You
assistance
don't
would you
really
offer
want
them?
to fight either.
We don't want to fight it
My
either.
ship is not bound by any such agreement, and I can turn the very terrain of this battle against
Mm.
the creature.
Like I said, we don't need to.
Yeah.
We shouldn't
Our
kill
intention isn't to fight.
To your second point, you may have realized at this point, but my ship is itself a living creature, and I have spent many years commanding it. I cannot guarantee that it will serve you, but I will have no need of it, so if it will, then it is yours. To your third point, I can offer you a significant amount of treasure. Would 100,000 gold pieces be enough?
For a belt, you say?
Pay for the paperwork.
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe make a dent.
Just enough.
And then, before you can sort of finish discussing that, he says, however, all of this is contingent upon you saying the right things regarding Fortnite's fortune, of
Mhm.
course.
Mhm. Of course.
We'll all look at Mara.
Yeah.
Write it down.
What is he writing down?
She's just note taking
Okay.
on the agreement.
She wants it in writing, I think.
Yep.
Before.
I want it in writing before we discuss it, and I want you
You're
to
just
write down
like the
exactly
being
what
that
you
dwells within the belly of this ship.
exactly
Require
what you
that,
want
but
me to say.
If you can produce a pen that I can hold with this spectral hand, then certainly.
Just write it in air, and I'll copy it.
He like starts tracing letters in the air in giant runes.
Okay, so if I
There.
put
Now,
that
My patience is beginning to wear thin.
thousands
you
of
know?
years. You can wait a little longer.
You can see that his smile has faded. He wants to know at this point what you know.
We are-
what
we
you
are kind of,
can
like,
offer.
dragging
You've
him
been
along
very
a
vague
bit.
about what you can
Yeah.
offer.
Okay, do I take out the coin?
Do it. Do your thing.
All right, here we go.
And his eyes light up.
Your patience has been rewarded, hasn't it?
You can see like ghostly tears streaming down his spectral face, and he says, "It appears they have."
I watched
he-
that
And I-
reaction
he
because I
reaches
know
out
he's
his
such
hand.
a softie.
So he reaches out his hand for it.
And I take it away,
Wet in here.
and I
Hold
recite
back.
what he wanted me to say, as long
So,
as I cleared it.
I'm-
Can anybody read Giant? Or speak
Can I hold an action real quick?
Sure.
If he tries to make an attempt to grab this thing, I want to intercept him.
Okay. Yeah, I mean he's just holding out his.
I know. I'm just saying, right? Because he's like thousands of years.
my
this is
God,
the
you
last
guys.
coin, like,
Just
We're
do the
just
thing.
so
Alright.
leery.
Anyway.
Okay,
Just
do
give
the
it to
thing.
him. Let him
we're
do the
doing the
thing.
thing. I'm reading what he said.
what do
He
you do?
translates. Doing it.
What?
Did it.
What did you do?
I don't know
Put
what
the
you did.
treasure. Join the treasure for him.
Oh, you
And
dropped it in
recite
there.
it. Yes. I'm.
He tries to stand in your way.
Because you didn't ask him if you could.
Yeah,
do
you
that.
didn't ask that.
I just asked him to tell me what to say. when I put it in.
I thought
And
you
I
were talking
said
to
write
your
it
team.
down.
Oh,
No.
Oh, we all misunderstood.
Yeah,
I
I
thought
thought
you
no one
wanted
did.
him to
Like,
write
write
a
out the
contract.
No.
Sorry, I completely misunderstood.
Yeah.
I'm like, write down
in
what
which
you want
case-
me to say.
In which case, he says,
No wonder you're confused when I asked
Sorry.
to translate.
we were
He
all very
says-
confused.
no, if anyone is going to rejoin me with the spirit of my beloved, it's going to be me. Give me the coin. This is the one
Just do
point
it,
where,
Mara.
on this point, I will not budge.
Fine, just give it to him.
I really don't want to do this, but I grudgingly hand it over because of my comrades to you.
It drops into his ghostly palm and kind of floats in it a little bit before floating, finding its place back on the top of the palm. And he turns it over in his fingers and looks at it, casts it into the treasure, speaks a phrase in Giant that booms throughout the ship. And that's where we're going to end tonight's
No!
Thank you guys for playing. Thank you to anyone who tuned in to watch our special Halloween episode. We had trick-or-treaters, we had ghosts, we had fighting. It was great. We're going to be back with more of this, not next week, but the week after. We're skipping a week. So that cliffhanger gets to hang over us for 2 weeks. But yeah, we hope to see you back again. Thank you for watching. Have a good night. Bye.
Boo.
Ooh.